Welcome, Fantasy Balls team managers, to 2024. The results are in, the news is here. It's 2024, and the hard R is back. You heard it here first. Justin Brochard told me himself from the future last night. He told me, he said, hey, I know you're still in 2023, but here in 2024, the hard R is back. So tell your neighbors, go shout it from the rooftops. We're back in business, baby. I don't know, we're back. But the results are in. It's time to go over the final recap of the 2023 fantasy football season. It was a bit of a roller coaster, boys. I got some interesting stuff here. Feel free to do the math yourself when I go over it as well. Not because I have a feeling John's gonna call some BS on me. Interesting playoffs. I don't know what to say. Eddie's team finally fucking did the thing. And holy shit, there's no way around it. Fucking Eddie popped off. Finally. His team actually performed. Before I say something wrong, this is the first time all season that Eddie has scored over 160 points. First time all season. He scored 159 and 158. And those are the only times he was over 150. Again, the fraud has won. But honestly, he earned this one. There's no way around it. I mean, his kicker did have 24 points. Devontae Adams had 37. Breece Hall had 27. Travis Etienne had 25. Eddie popped off. Not a single person outside of his defense, which I think we can all agree is different. His defense put up 7 points, and that was his lowest scorer. After that, it goes to 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, I skipped a 10. I lied. 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 25, 24, 25, 27, 37. Put up 197 points. He waited to the championship to be a real team, but he did it. That's the only thing I can say positively for Eddie. The way his route to the championship, the most fraudulent team we've ever seen. I know that the league is only 2 years old. But, come on. His path to the championship, let me look at the playoff bracket. Obviously, he had the bye. Beats Jake in the first round, only putting up 111 points. Because Jake only scored 78. But, let me see, what did he put up in, his bye week obviously doesn't count. He didn't start a quarterback or a flex. But he only put up 102. His backup quarterback would have been, 128. And then his best, let's just assume if he put in Jordan Addison, okay, he would have put up 150 as well. But the entire season, I got his schedule right here. Wins a game, 138. Fair. Wins a game only scoring 92. Sus. 158. Fair. 139. Alright. That's also fair. 159. Also fair. Loses to Jake, but only scored 101. Wins with 106. Wins with 137. Fair. Wins with 105. Ugh, that was against me. Tough look. Loses, scoring 94. Wins with 140. Fine. Wins with 124. Only won by less than 2 points. Wins 131.78 to 131.58. Wins only scoring against Chumba. Chumba only scored 85. And Chumba's the highest scorer of the season. Chumba's worst performance. Every single week there was something with Eddie. And it was just, a couple of them are fine. Let's see, let's count anything over 120 is a fair, 125 is a fair win, okay? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of his regular season wins seem legitimate to me. The rest is some kind of luck, right? So, the most fraudulent winner, but, he did it. He won. What can I say? He did win. When it comes to the playoffs, again, he put up 197, so these numbers kind of skew because of the huge game that he had this weekend. But honestly, in the playoffs, he's the second highest scorer for the weeks that I only counted the second and third weeks of the playoffs because obviously those are the only ones that he competed in. He was the second highest scorer. Yes, I still think he got lucky in the first round, only scoring 111 and still advancing. But, you put up 197 turns heads. If he didn't put up 197, these numbers would be a little different because there were some teams close to him. But I'm the only person that beat Eddie in scoring. I scored 135.28 in the 2 rounds of playoffs that Eddie was in. And then Eddie scored 303.78. So it's really hard to be like, hey guys, like, Eddie didn't deserve it when he's the second highest playoff scorer. After it was me, then Eddie. After that, it was John at 296. Then we go to Griff at 293. So 2 of the top 4 didn't even make the actual playoffs. And then after that, there's a steep drop. Chumba was next with 260. So we go from 290s to 260s. Then it's Brochard and Runge in the 230s. Less than a point separated them. 237 for Runge, 238 for Brochard. Then then Alec is in the 220s with Connor. And then Jake was the lowest scorer in the 2 playoff weeks. He won his second matchup against Alec, but that 78 points really killed him. So, it wasn't a super impressive playoffs. We're going to go through all the matchups right now. But yeah, Eddie wins the chip. Again, I'd like to remind everybody that Eddie would have squeaked into the playoffs with there's 9 other schedules, not including his. He would have absolutely made it with 1 against Connor's schedule. He would have went 9-6. He absolutely would have made the playoff. Every other schedule, however, he either barely squeaks in at 8-6, or no, 8-7, or he would have finished the regular season. I think this is including playoffs. That's the problem. He would have just squeaked in or missed. If he plays Runge's schedule, he goes 4-11. He plays my schedule, he goes 5-10. He goes 6-9 against Jake's. He goes 7-8 against John's and Alex. And then against against Brochard, Chumba, and Griff's schedule, he goes 8-7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 schedules that he would have a positive record over 500 if he played other than himself. Or other than his schedule. And of course with his schedule he went 13-2 overall. Anyway, I'm already 9 minutes in. Holy shit. And I've only talked about Eddie so far. Obviously, it's the end of the year. It's going to be a little bit longer. I expect that. But Jesus Christ, 9 minutes talking about Eddie. Let's go. So Eddie wins the chip, 197 and 122. Alec really kind of shit the bed. His team didn't do great. Raiders defense did not pop off like they did the week before. Alec only puts up 85. Runge takes the 3rd place game. Or not Runge, jeez. Jake takes the 3rd place game. Alec is in 4th place overall at the end of the season. 5th place game, Runge versus John. John takes the W here, 153 to 116. Runge, 6th place. John, 5th place. Then we got the 7th place game, myself and Connor. I took Connor down. Don't think Connor paid attention. Not that it would have changed anything, but he has somebody on the IR in. Even if he put anybody else in, he wasn't going to win. I beat him fairly enough. I take 7th place, Connor has 8th place. And then the last place game, Brochard versus Griff. Brochard gets a W. Probably a pretty close game here, 130 to 121. I think it's probably the closest of this bunch of games this week. So, that's the final standings. It's not fully updated in the app or on the thing yet. So it still has, for example, Connor still says he's in last place, even though technically he's not in last place. End of season, Connor didn't end up in last place through the playoffs. So that's the update. Let's real quick go to the standings. Reminder, Chumba was our leading scorer this season, the only person to score over 2,000 points. Eddie, the lowest scorer, the lowest points against. Eddie is the best defender in our league. He knows how to play defense. He's the 3rd fewest points scored, but people could not score against him. Oh shit, I had the most points scored against me. God damn it, I didn't notice that. So yeah, that's that. I'll say, also looking at this other app that I use, the Fantasy Football Hub, the weekly record versus all teams. If you put everybody head to head, their matchup head to head, if you faced everybody every single week. Eddie has a losing record overall. A lot of teams do actually. Connor would have been 24 and 118. Chumba has a winning record, 98 and 37. He's the top dog. After that, Alec and myself both would have been 83 and 59. Then we got then Jake would have been 78 and 64. John would have been 76 and 66. Everybody else has a losing record against everybody. Keep an eye out. I will be hopefully sending out the league vote today, actually, because I had the idea if we could use the NFL playoffs to determine the draft order for baseball, assuming that gets approved. I say if it gets approved, I'm all for baseball season. I think it's fun. We have a good time, whatever. So I'm all for baseball season. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not. Let's make it happen. But I don't want to do a baseball league if only 4 people are like, yeah, let's do baseball. So I'll be sending out the league vote hopefully today so that we can get that done and we can use NFL playoffs as a way to determine the baseball draft order. I'll be adding a last couple of rules that I haven't added yet when I talk to some of you guys. But it'll be pretty much the same thing that I sent out to y'all the other day. So yeah, great season. Congrats to Eddie. I guess you guys have already been paid, so don't even worry about it. But that's that, gents. That's the football season. Great year. I will say I've started to skew very more to serious recaps. I'm going to try and start going back into being funny. I think I'm being a little too serious in some of these, and I think I got to bring back the jokes. I still land some jokes here or there. But as you all know me, I love statistics and stuff like that, so my brain goes to there. The autism just comes out. But I'm going to try and start skewing back into making fun of y'all and making the jokes. So that's the plan for baseball season and recaps going forward. Keep an eye out for the league vote. Lots of stuff. Again, feel free to ask questions, to clarify, all that shit. And please actually use your name. It comes helpful, as a few of you have gone back and asked me, hey, what did I say for that? When y'all use different names, it's hard for me to figure it out. So use your real names, or at least your team name, something. And I'm going to be more on top of some stuff this year. There were some rules that got passed that I didn't actually implement because I had to do it and I just didn't. So keep an eye out for that. I will be doing some new stuff this year that was passed already that I just didn't stay on top of. But that's 15 minutes. I'm going to try and cut it now. That's a recap. Great football season. We'll catch y'all next year. Chumba, I kept the fucking door closed for your bitch ass because you made the championship. I was like, oh, let me be nice. Fuck you all. The hard R is back. Be proud. Nope, that's